Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day so far, and I'm going to jump into a huge video on PERRICONE No Makeup Makeup. I purchased these products. It's expensive stuff. We've got the no makeup foundation, we've got the eyeshadow, the blush, the highlighter, the bronzer, the lipstick, and did I say the concealer? So I'm going to be showing you how a whole look comes together with these products, just exactly what that turns out. Then we're gonna kind of morph into a mode of a few things maybe you can do to make it look even better. But I'm gonna be giving you my reviews along the way. I've had this stuff for probably close to 2 months now that I've been testing on and off. I bought them mostly from Ulta, but I had recently gotten the no makeup highlighter from Nordstrom's website because for some reason they didn't have that on Ulta. If you're familiar with PERRICONE, you know that that's a major skincare brand, and the stuff ain't cheap. This foundation, for example, is going to cost $60, and a lot of these other products are going to be around $35. And I feel like, you know, that's significant, especially if you're considering jumping into the whole line and trying a lot of these things combined. Like, it really starts to add up. But I do think what it comes back to is, what's your makeup priority, okay? I could easily write something like this off right away, like my gut instinct said, and that is, oh, this is going to come off with the light coverage of a tinted moisturizer. I got a couple of those, and guess what? I find them at Walmart and I like them. However, maybe they don't contain the mineral SPF like this does. Maybe they don't contain the really good skincare ingredients like this does, that basically results in me walking around my day not wearing necessarily makeup, but wearing a treatment, so to speak. So there's something to be said for that. Also, just in terms of the look, you know, what is your priority there? Start thinking about whether you are really happy with a light look. I'm talking light coverage makeup, or do you want full coverage? How important is staying power to you? The staying power of this stuff may not be its greatest strength. I don't think it's terrible. Lots and lots of factors at play. I will definitely be like kind of summing it all up for you and telling you in the end what I think of it. But we're going to start out with this foundation. Now, this is the no makeup foundation. It does have a broad spectrum SPF 30. It's a mineral sunscreen in there, which is cool. I've been doing a little more sunscreen research in the past couple weeks, and I have been trying to locate more products that have a good mineral SPF. I have this in the shade light. This does not come in a lot of colors. PERRICONE's website only shows 5. I can't remember if there was a couple more on Ulta's site, and I'm sure a description they would give on this is the fact that it is so light that it stretches across multiple skin tones. One shade will, and we see that with more sheer foundations. That's true. However, I don't want to overstep my bounds and say that the darkest shade is going to stretch to all darkest skin tones who might need it. I'm going to wait for somebody in the comments section to come in and say, yeah, I've tried that. I've got that skin tone. It did or didn't work for me. Because sometimes I think we get a little too assumption oriented here with things we don't even know anything truly about. So I know that this light skin tone is working for me. It does not look like on paper to be an awesome shade range, but if someone could tell me if those deepest skin tones really do stretch to accommodate someone with rich skin, let me know how that's going. I would not be surprised if it worked, just because this is like a luminous, dewy, sheer product. And yes, I really am shaking this up. I have best luck with this when I've shaken it up, actually quite a bit, because you can almost see through this frosted glass that things can have a tendency to separate. And it's not like this has gone unused for a long time. It's just what this product does. And this is, again, the no makeup foundation. They have a serum foundation, and I just went for this, the basic foundation, although I have seen some reviews for the serum foundation as well. They're two different things. I just kind of thought, well, I'll just go for the thing that says foundation. In terms of key ingredients in this product, we're talking about alpha lipoic acid. This is known to be nature's most powerful antioxidant. It's said to reduce the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, and enlarged pores over time. It has vitamin C ester, which is a brightening and smoothing type ingredient. And then, of course, that mineral SPF as well. So what I'm going to do is follow the instructions here. I've applied some of these things several different ways, and in some cases in this video, I'm going to stick to what I personally really like. With the foundation, I kind of want to follow exactly what they said here. They say amount-wise 2 to 3 drops, and they say to just press and blend it into your skin with your fingertips. So I'm gonna get 2 drops because I feel like the pumps are pretty big. Kind of blend it here between my fingers. And I'm gonna start blending this in as though it was like tinted moisturizer. In terms of its moisturizing feel, it has a nice like kind of semi thickness to it as it goes across the skin. I do think something about blending this in with your hands kind of does help it melt into the skin more. And you could technically like apply everything with your hands here. I think a brush just does make certain things easier. Okay, so I've got the foundation all over. Super lightweight, guys, like sheer, sheer, sheer. But I can see my skin looking slightly more radiant and even, but there are some areas where I would go in and really correct or conceal, and I do have the No Makeup Concealer. I have this in the shade Fair. When I placed my order, there was like one shade to choose from, and I thought, is this one of those like unusual one shade products? But no, eventually more shades did come out. Just several other shades, which if it's gonna be higher coverage than the foundation, which it is, there's a situation where I think they definitely do need a much broader shade range. Like you can almost get away with saying it's a sheer foundation, it'll really stretch, but not so much with a concealer. But this claims to be a versatile multitasking concealer that could work on under eyes, blemish coverage, claims to be crease proof, also has the SPF in it, which is kind of unique. So like I said, I have this in Fair. I'm going to dab this around some of my darkest areas here. We're gonna hit sort of this zone where I kind of like to brighten. We're gonna get around the nose as well and just see how this works today. Because there have been times where I've combined these products with other things and I've given, you know, a little more coverage help underneath and the concealer has appeared to be doing more, but right now it doesn't have a lot of help. And I think it's brightening, but the coverage is not like fantastic. Like if PERRICONE could start working on something like Bobbi Brown's serum corrector, something of that nature, like a really thin corrector, and really concentrate on tones, then maybe we could end up getting a little more satisfying coverage out of stuff like this. But as you can see, I am brightening a little bit, as that tone is going to do. It did, I think, maybe a little better for redness around the nose. I'm going to try to hit this area as well and build just a little right in here to see if I can do any better. And this is my Sigma P80 that I'm using here. You could, of course, use your fingers, and I kind of like to even go over it with my fingers to really make sure everything's melting in nicely. This is a concealer that does continue to have like some moisture to it, so you can feel that in the product. It's not incredibly tacky like a Tarte Maracuja, but you can feel its presence there. So did it assist the overall look? Did it elevate the look and the coverage? I think it definitely did, just not to the extent that I really would have liked. I look in really close and I feel like, yeah, I can still spot some discoloration. Now granted, this is all called no makeup makeup, so what do we really expect here? So it does look natural. I'm not gonna accuse this product of being really cakey. I just could have used maybe even more coverage for my liking. Next up, we're gonna go to the No Makeup Bronzer. And with the bronzer, the blush, the highlight, the lip color, the eyeshadow, everything's coming in one shade. I could see some people being like, cool, I don't have any decisions to make. But then others might, you know, take issue with the certain tones that these things were created in. But I'm gonna pop them on my skin. You can kind of see how they come off on me at least. So the No Makeup Bronzer, give it a shake. As with everything, they advise you to shake it up. And with this, I mean, you could dot this on your skin. You could rub it between your fingers first and then dab it on your skin with fingers. What I'm gonna do today is actually swipe a little bit off on my hand. This is really a pretty pigmented product, and it doesn't actually take a lot. I'm gonna just kind of pull away from that little puddle that I put on my hand with this Sephora Pro Mini 55.5. It's kind of like a smallish, I don't know, slightly bigger than a blush brush maybe. And I'm going to just apply this straight to the skin. And I feel like this is the simplest, most even application you can get with this type of product. Like, look how I'm gonna be warming up my skin, but you feel like you've got a bit more control. Sure, you could just go directly to the skin, but that's a lot of product laying down, and I feel like you interfere less with the foundation underneath when you just really lightly, like I'm not applying a ton of pressure here with my brush, but just lightly blend over that. And I feel like on the forehead, you know, now we've amped up the skin tone a little bit. And I did end up using pretty much everything that was there, so I'm gonna give myself another like drop, and we're gonna pick up part of that and kind of go here a little bit to the cheekbone area, just where I would normally put on like a powder bronzer, and kind of let it come up, because this is a real like kind of sunny tone, you know what I mean? The look of natural sun-kissed skin, I mean, we put bronzer where the sun would hit, so I'm gonna let it rise up just a little bit there. I'll rise up. Okay, just dabbing, dabbing. Really enjoy this application style. I mean, if you've got a good synthetic blush brush, I think you might like popping the color on this way. Let a little come across the nose. We always get sun-kissed there. Another tip they give about the bronzer is using it to warm up the tone of your foundation by just mixing like a drop or two in with that. So that is an option. When I'm sticking to this routine and just doing the steps included, I find the bronzer step to be pretty transformative, pretty important. The foundation, while it evens me a little, it does give me a little more dewy radiance. The bronzer steps it up visually just quite a bit. Now we're gonna move on to one of my favorite elements of this whole routine, and it is the no makeup blush. I think they came up with a really good tone here that I think has the potential to show and be beautiful on a lot of skin tones, I would suspect. It's got a lot of pigment. A little is gonna go a long way for my skin tone. So I'm again gonna do what I did before. I'm just gonna find a little new spot on my hand palette here and swipe out a little bit. We can see it's kind of like this rich corally shade. It actually reminds me a ton of the color that I've got in my Needs palette, blush-wise, just liquefied. And so I've picked some up on my little brush here. And I just think this is such an easy way to get it on, just to dab it with your brush, because it's instantly even. I'm not applying much pressure. I'm just letting it go. Somebody really comfortable with powder application and less comfortable with liquid makeup application in all these steps might really like doing it this way before they just kind of freestyle it with their fingers or just start swiping on their face. There's the youth, there's the health. What can I say? I love blush. I'm kind of letting it go right across the nose because I feel like that's so natural seeming here. And letting it kind of come up close to my eye as well. I was very brightened under the eye, and I don't know, letting your blush come up high is actually, I think, a really good look. Do I want more blush? I'm kind of satisfied with that level of blush, actually. The no highlighter highlighters. Some of these things, like the titles of some of these products really is like, am I gonna like something called no foundation foundation? Am I gonna like something called no bronzer bronzer? But the concept of a no makeup highlighter, I'm really here for it because I think, you know, sneaky highlights, as I call them, a highlight that really looks undetectable as far as you see the glow, but you can't really point out the fact that there's makeup there. I was really interested in trying this, and this is kind of what held up the video somewhat because I was waiting to find this somewhere and get this in. So one shade, it's very pearly, and this, I feel a little more comfortable just taking this straight to the skin and giving it a little sweep, about that much product. And then I've got a different synthetic brush. This one happens to be from Morphe. It's a little bit smaller than what I was just using. Give the cheek a little bit of a smile here and just blend that in up to the ear area, basically, the hairline, and on top of the cheek. Youth, radiance. I mean, I can't point to makeup. It doesn't look like anything's like building up on the skin. That's the beauty, I guess, of working in liquid cream consistencies. You keep adding this step or that step, and then you come in close and none of it really looks makeup-y. So there's a benefit. So just pressing this in with my brush. Again, this could be done very low maintenance style with fingers, but I like the brush application with a few of these face steps. Another thing I might do with this, since it is going to be pretty minimal elsewhere on the face, is let myself have a little highlight on the brow bone and a little light right in here on my inner corner. That was a tiny dot, by the way, if you didn't see that. And just kind of dab that in here. So now skin-wise, we know we haven't done the eye or the lip, but this is what we're coming away with the no makeup skin. Really using every step. We've got a dewy, kind of semi-dewy feel to the skin. It doesn't feel annoyingly tacky, but I feel moisturized, definitely, like richly moisturized on the skin. And I did already have moisturizer on under all this, but my skin seems lightly evened out. I can look up close. I feel like I'm getting the benefits of blush, bronzer, and highlight, but yet I look up close and I don't really see it. I feel like if anything's showing here, the concealer is showing a little bit, maybe clinging a little to texture that's happening right in this zone. And I wonder if I can press that out a little bit with the warmth of my finger. Not necessarily, okay. But we're gonna move on now to the eyeshadow. This is called No Eyeshadow Eyeshadow. Comes in one shade. Let me tell you what some of the claims on this are. It says an innovative serum that combines Dr. PERRICONE's patented skincare technology with cutting-edge makeup science. Formulated with acyl glutathione, no eyeshadow instantly brightens and awakens the eyes, providing a youthful, natural look. It says crease-proof, long-wearing, delivering anti-aging benefits. Can be worn alone or works as a perfect base, they say. I have used it as a base a time or two. So we're gonna pop this open. Wand applicator, as you can see, it's this beigey, neutral, just color here, and I'm gonna blend this in, and it does kind of feel like I'm applying an eye primer. It did neutralize, I don't know if you could tell there, but I think it neutralized some tone on the eyes. And it's kind of one of those things where, okay, the thing setting this apart might be that it's really got some great ingredients in there that are going to be doing something special for this area. And I can appreciate that, but just looks-wise, if we're just talking about that, there are other primers that kind of do what this does. There's certainly eyeshadow sticks that you could swipe on and just kind of get a neutral, easy look like this. This is what no eyeshadow gives you, everybody. Now we're gonna pop on our last step, which is the no makeup lipstick. Coming in one shade here. It's a beautiful packaging. You twist and lift off, and it looks like a tinted lip balm. And I think this smells so good, kind of a vanilla scent. Smells a lot like a MAC lipstick. And we're gonna swipe this on, and it's so pretty. Super fresh, you know, it's springtime in a tube, I think. The shine is immediately there, but not quite so much as like one of those Physicians Formula butter lipsticks. It's like a teeny step down from that shine-wise, and so I would put it more on par with the L'Oreal Color Riche shines, which I love. I love that formula. I think you could find something from that line, probably like Burnished Blush or something, that shade, that would give you a super similar look to this. Immediate shine, super balmy feel. This is not a product you're gonna look to and say, oh my gosh, I really admire the staying power. Like, no, it's going to wear off as soon as you eat and drink. You're going to need to reapply. I'm just going to see what they say about it on the website. Oh my gosh, the PERRICONE website has no makeup lip gloss. I'm intrigued. Wish I had that. Revolutionary solid to serum anti-aging lip treatment designed to restore natural rosy color. Universally flattering shade, they say. The special ingredient, they say, is neuropeptides uniting surface cells to fight wrinkles. So from the skincare vantage point, is it probably doing a little more for your skin than a L'Oreal Color Riche Shine? Yeah, it probably is, but looks-wise, I mean, that's kind of the equivalent product, the drugstore equivalent. So my friends, this is my full no makeup look. This is everything I have. Now they sell something called no mascara, and that was kind of where I drew the line. Like, it fights all of my principles in terms of what I like in lashes to think of something called no mascara. Looking back, maybe I should have gotten it and just for the sake of this video tried it and shown you guys. But I was just buying so much at that point. I was like, I'm not gonna get something called no mascara. What I am gonna take you through now are just a few little things that I think can further enhance your look when you're wearing this no makeup thing. But this is what we have right now, and I'm not mad at where I am right now because I think my skin looks good. I feel radiant. Things look evened out. Yeah, if you come in close, could you find a little darkness around my eyes? Sure. Could you find, you know, some spots on my skin? Yeah, you probably could. But taking in the full picture, I'm like, I feel pretty youthful and kind of like, yeah, this is all right. Here's one thing I'm gonna do to finish the look. I'm gonna fill in my brows. I don't think I saw a no brows brow product, so I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. So just real quickly, finished up my brows. I've got this CoverGirl pencil in soft brown, which, look, I only have that much left in it, just a teeny bit, and so I'm kind of trying to just use that up. And it's a nice pencil. It's a nice, skinny, precise pencil. And then I used my Sigma Tint and Tame brow gel just to go through for some hold. So that's that. I also wanted to show you guys something that I think makes a big difference for this whole no makeup thing. It's a very small step, but I think visually you will see just a real improvement in a couple areas. I want you to zone in on what you see right in here. Do you see darkness that kind of like almost drops from about here to top of my cheek? Just a little dullness right there. Take some kind of translucent powder that you have. I'm going for a drugstore one here. This is the Revolution Bacon Blot in translucent, and my e.l.f. small tapered brush. I'm gonna get a little product on there. Not a ton, just a little, and this probably is like going way against the no makeup, trying to use all liquids type deal, but I just want to say this helps, and this not only helps the look, but also the staying power, I feel. Dabbing this in right around here, pressing on the under eye and upward, I feel actually gives me a more perfected look right there. Can you see it? Can you see like just a little more evenness? I don't know. I feel like I can. Like it makes a difference to me. And then also around my nose. And this is like a real just preventative staying power step, is to put a little powder on this. We're straight up liquid all over. Nothing has been set. I am a normal skin type, but even just for me, like I'm not terribly oily, but this will make a difference as it wears throughout the day. Another finishing touch for me, I wake up very early in the morning. I was crying again last night, but it wasn't because of my cat. It was because we're watching Queer Eye, and that show is amazing and heartwarming and just like fills me with love and joy, and I cry in every episode. I think Bub does too. So I take this emotional basket case. This is just my ultimate brow highlighter from Wet n Wild. Anybody who's gone and tried this has said thank you. Something that brightens and actually lasts in my waterline. So that's what I put here. And this is like such an easy step that doesn't add to the makeup-iness of my look. But just brightens. Next up, this is gonna make a huge difference. A little curl of the lashes and a little mascara. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this and I'll be right back. Okay, so now eyes are done. I just feel like hugely finished when I go ahead and get my mascara on there. I just wanna try one more thing because it isn't a video of mine if we don't go ahead and add a little extra blush, but I wanna try something here that I haven't done. I'm gonna do a dot of blush on my hand there and also a dot of highlight, because I kind of want to amp up both a little. The highlight seems even more liquidy than the blush, actually. I'm going to kind of like combine the two and then give myself a little more here on the cheek. Ooh, it's nice. I can see the glow. I can definitely see the blush. When in doubt, add more blush. Alrighty friends, so that's my look. PERRICONE No Makeup Makeup. Pricey products, but it is skincare infused makeup. Like I said at the start of the video, I think this really comes back to priorities. What are your makeup priorities? Do you want to see more than just that really light level of coverage on your skin? Do you feel like you need it due to certain skin concerns that you have? Then this might not be a product that you're gonna get home and feel really satisfied with. You've seen me do a lot of videos talking about full coverage, you know, go back to some of those, see some of the recommendations. There are tons at all price ranges. If you're thinking, well, I kind of like what this did, but it would be nice to not maybe spend $60 on the base product, I would say something kind of comparable that is going to cost you less is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This is a great product that also has the mineral SPF in it. It has the SPF 30. This is a 32, I think. Yeah. Again, this is all in that light coverage ballpark, but I think this is doing a pretty similar job to the PERRICONE, actually. Time I get Complexion Rescue blended in, I mean, yes, I feel moisturized, but maybe not quite as moisturized as I do with this. As far as the concealer goes, I think that was the least impressive thing to me. I felt like this, to fit in with this line, this could have been actually a thinner consistency and could have come in a better shade range to where it still could have managed covering. I think about, again, back to Bare Minerals, but this Bare Skin Concealer works so well. It's very thin, but I love this coverage. Another thing I love, if you want like a really thin, lightweight, kind of no makeup-y corrector, the Bobbi Brown Intensive Serum works so well. So those are a couple things that I actually could see beating out this PERRICONE concealer. As far as the color products on the face, we've got this no makeup bronzer. I thought this was kind of a game changer in terms of overall radiance to the skin. The blush might be one of my favorites. The blush and the lip, it's a really pretty tone. It was easy to blend into the skin. Love the overall look and the highlighter too. And I have worn these on top of other kinds of makeup, like a very standard typical foundation, and I've put these on top and they still look great. Bronzer's nice. Blush and highlight might be the highest points for me as far as face makeup. The no eyeshadow, I trust that, yeah, there are some good ingredients in there, but this seems skippable to me. There's just too many things that I have that look exactly the same as that once I blend them out on the eyes, and they're called eye primers. But the lip color, ain't that nice? If you want to get that look, if the look is all you really care about and you want to save money, look to the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine line. Another thing to talk about with this is staying power, and I actually have been surprised at the staying power with this. As I've been experimenting with this and a lot of times wearing it not with any powder setting it, I think I've gone in with a very low expectation, and generally speaking it's done better than expected. I will have some product breaking down around the nose, but I've learned that a light bit of powder setting that area can make a big difference for me, and this is coming from someone with a normal skin type. An oily skin person, they might like laugh at like, oh, a little bit of powder does it for you. That might not be enough for some. But for me, that really does make an impact, and I feel like if it's light powder, it doesn't mess too much with the freshness of the look. Hey guys, I just wanted to throw in a little check-in on this because while I have worn the product a lot, I know it does mean something to you to get to see the wear of it and not just my description of how it usually wears. So this is what we're looking at now at about, where are we at, 3 in the afternoon. The skin is a little dewy around the nose and forehead. The weather's definitely warmed up here, very windy. I've spent a little time outside, but really, I mean, I haven't touched up the nose at all. I have a little lip balm on right now, but it's not out of control oily. I attribute some of that to the fact that I did set it lightly with some powder, but I'm very pleased with the way everything looks overall. There's not too much I can pick apart about it, and also, how about that curl holding of the MAC mascara that I use, that Perm Up, that always impresses me how like I don't touch the lashes with anything throughout the whole day and they stay upright. So anyway, that's just my little check-in, and we'll see you later. This is definitely not a brand new line. It's just something that for whatever reason I started taking an interest in recently, but I would love to hear if you've tried any of these products, what you think of them, what are your top products that are in this range, what do you feel is worth it, what do you think is not worth it? Do you see a lot of value in wearing makeup that is skincare infused? My profile of a person who I think might enjoy this is a person who doesn't mind spending a little money on their makeup, a person who has pretty good skin to begin with. If you're dealing with a pretty even complexion, if you don't like a lot of decision making, like I don't want to choose between 18 shades of blush, you may really enjoy this simplified, like we're just gonna choose the blush shade for you kind of deal here. And if you just go for super natural and you want to know that there's good skincare happening in your makeup. Also, I'm just gonna throw this out there, but maybe more of a normal to dry skin type, because again, this is a very like nourishing foundation. I feel I can really get the dewiness coming from this. I feel a lot of moisture on my skin, not like annoyingly so, but it's definitely there. And I wonder if maybe oily skin that might be a bit much for, especially to be worn unset. Finished look wise, like I'm feeling the no makeup vibe. I like the look. I'm convinced that I really don't look makeup-y, but yet my skin looks good and it looks youthful and glowing. So let's talk in the comments about what we think. Thank you so much for your time today, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.